Welcome back to my channel. The first round of the NHL Draft happened last night and went pretty much how I expected, but there were a few surprises. Second round, the second to seventh round is happening right now. So if you want to watch that and you see this video within the next few hours, it's on Sportsnet. At least that's where I was watching it. Yeah, so one thing to note before I get into the whole draft stuff, Abbotsford Canucks won the AHL playoffs a few days ago. They had their cup celebration the other day that I went to, and it was pretty fun. It was entertaining, and it was nice to see a cup celebration because I'd never seen one before. So hopefully those guys that won with Abby can go up to the big club and help them win. My Vancouver fan heart would be very happy about that. Anyway, let's get into the draft. Going first overall was Matthew Schaefer, which not really a surprise to a lot of people, but there were still a little bit of doubts of there could be a surprise. So Matthew Schaefer goes first overall, which was a very tear-jerking sight because of the fact that his mom and billet mom had passed before then, and doing it for his mom, and I like to see that. So he goes first overall, and the Islanders are getting someone who cares and who has a big heart. I'm gonna touch on just 9 more because I don't want to make this video an hour long. Then to the Sharks goes Misa, who had 134 points last season, so pretty alright. And then the Blackhawks got Anton Frundell, the best European player in this year's draft, in my opinion. Then the Utah Mammoth got Caleb Denwyer, who was pretty instrumental in the in the Moncton Wildcats journey for an OHL champion, or QMJHL championship, sorry. Then went Martin, who of note was on his farm for this draft with all of his family and friends, and his TV was propped up on a tractor, so that's pretty, it's interesting, but it's very on brand. Then goes Martone, who was anywhere in the top 7. He could have gone 3rd, he could have gone 7, but he ends up at 6 for the Flyers. Martin was the Predators draft pick. Then goes Higgins, who at the very beginning of the season was projected to go first overall. But then his season in the NCAA was really good for a freshman. However, our perception of a good NCAA prospect has kind of been warped by the likes of Macklin Celebrini, Adam Fantilli, and Jack Eichel. So yeah, unfortunate for him, but he goes to Boston, who right in his backyard, because he went to Boston College this past year. So whether he makes the jump to the NHL or goes back to Boston College, Boston Bruins will have a good eye on him. Then goes O'Brien to the Kraken, which is a little bit of a surprise for me, at least, because the Kraken seems to love taking players out of the U.S. division in the WHL. So, yeah, you never really know if these players are gonna be going places. So, yeah. Then Buffalo takes Merca, who first Czech player of the draft to be taken. He came over from the Czech League, I'm pretty sure, to Seattle halfway through the season. And so, yeah, he is off to Buffalo, which, have fun. Then the Ducks take Roger McQueen, which was very interesting because he was injured for majority of the season with a spine injury, and if we see with Caden Lindstrom last year, he was out for the whole season. So yeah, just something to keep your eye on with him. But as soon as he got drafted, he was taken in a helicopter all the way to Disneyland because this draft is happening in Los Angeles, so Anaheim, yeah. So that rounds up the top 10, but then a few notable picks I wanted to talk about. First, Vancouver Canucks, my team, or one of my teams, take a center in Braden Coots, who I predicted that they would take for probably the last 2.5 weeks. So very happy about that. He's from Sherwood Park, Alberta, so he's got to switch allegiances from the Oilers to the Canucks. Shouldn't be a problem. Then Columbus at 20th actually took a goalie, and so yeah, the goalie is a Russian goalie that I can't pronounce the name of, but I will learn it. And then at 29th, Chicago trades up and gets Mason West, who is an interesting case because he just finished up high school hockey this past year. But he wants to go back to high school next year to play football. I don't know what the kid's thinking, but maybe the Chicago Blackhawks can say, hey, hockey's actually pretty cool. So, yeah, just one thing to keep an eye on because Chicago also traded 3 picks to get that 1 pick. So, we'll see how it turns out. And then lastly, at 30th overall, Josh Ravensbergen was taken, who is a goalie. And yeah, he's a Canadian goalie. He was projected to go first round probably ever since like the early rankings in like October or something like that. So yeah, San Jose drafts him. And yeah, so San Jose's looking pretty dangerous, looking pretty stacked with Misa, Celebrini, Will Smith, Dickinson. Yeah, they got a lot of people, a lot of young guns coming through that system. So that ends off the draft with 19 Canadians taken, 6 Americans, 3 Swedes, 2 Czechs, 1 Russian, and 1 Finnish player. So, good representation from Canada in the first round. And yeah, so that's the first round, or a little bit of the first round. If you like this video, like it and subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos of mine. And let me know in the comments what you thought of the first round, and I will see you in the next one.